Cottonwood continues picking up the pieces after a deadly tornado this week. News 4's Michaela Simmons tells us tonight things are looking up.
Cottonwood is still without power. That's the bad news. Then there is good news. Supplies are flooding into town.
Each one of these towns is near and dear to me. I try to go out and volunteer my time.
Gordon Fire Chief Justin McAllister is among volunteers helping in this town of about 1,000 past a tornado that killed one person and left others homeless.
This is nothing.
Despite the raft of the twister on Tuesday, Cottonwood High School teacher Nathan Butler is taking things in stride. As he delivers relief supplies around town, one thought is in the front of his mind. No matter what happens, Cottonwood always perseveres.
Well, living in a small town, you have people that step up when they need to. We've been through 3 major storms in the past 10 years, 2 tornadoes and 1 hurricane.
Volunteers are working swiftly to prop up Cottonwood.
And it's going to be one of the scariest times for people after the disaster, so they definitely need a lot of support.
And because of them, the town will rebound. In Cottonwood, Michaela Simmons for your hometown news leader.
Cottonwood is preparing for tomorrow's severe weather risk. They plan to shut down operations to receive any donations. Now, this is just through Friday morning. Operations will continue when the predicted storms pass, so just make note of that.